Hey, MIPCOM, how you doing? Live here in Cannes, south of France. My name is, of course, David Fox with Fox Populi Wonder Media Imagination in Motion, and we are here live with a much more important person than myself, and that would be Mr. Brian Cobb. Brian, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's my second time on your show.
Yes, okay. Well, glad to see you come back for more. Obviously, it meant a hope that you had a good time here last time, so...
You haven't aged a day. I need to know what your moisturizing cream is or what your diet is, you know?
Oh, stop it, you. Yeah. Anyway, Brian, obviously you are a bit of a star around here. Tell us a bit about your company.
I run a company called Cobbstar Productions based out of Sydney. We kicked off in about 2012.
That's right.
Our springboard series was a series called The Horizon, which is an LGBTIQ series that was one of the first to use YouTube as a narrative storytelling platform.
Okay. Now, you've just touched upon two very important elements there, so let's unpack those for a moment. First thing, theme, LGBT theme. So basically, what is, in just a nutshell, the synopsis of the series, without any massive plot spoilers, of course.
Well, basically, it's a fish out of water story.
Yeah.
A closeted gay country boy comes to Sydney. He's been dating a scene queen for a little bit. He's a bit of a sex addict.
Yeah.
So we follow him as the entree into Sydney's gay scene, and his beauty and his love for this guy is sort of shattered when he finds out that this guy that he's falling in love with isn't all that he said he was via, Skyping and social media.
Okay. Now, you said that this is one of the first, or the first series that works entirely on YouTube. Is that what you?
Yeah, I think as a narrative scripted sort of platform. Yeah, so obviously YouTube had people scaring their cats, or there's dad on the toilet, or I'm pranking my mother.
I know. Yes. The golden age of the internet, isn't it?
It's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah. Here's another cat video. But Brian, whence did the idea occur to you to put this on YouTube rather than any kind of linear television? What led you through that process?
Well, I sort of fell into it, in all honesty. I've had a bit of luck in my career, and I'm very happy and honest to say that.
Well,
the AIDS Council of New South Wales, they identified a gap gap in the market's the wrong word. They identified that gay boys between the ages of 18 and 30 weren't getting the message about HIV awareness and safe sex.
Oh, yes.
So the AIDS Council came to a friend of mine who was writing for Home and Away and Packed to the Rafters and said to him, we want to do a YouTube video. And he said, no, let's scrap that. Let's do an 8x5 minute gay soap opera, basically. And we'll entwine safe sex messages through the series. And it went to 1 million hits, and that was in 2009.
Oh, my goodness.
And this was before anyone knew what that sort of currency meant. And so a very good friend of mine who's a drag queen said to me when I was finishing film school, do you want to come on and produce season 2? So I did. We raised a little bit more money this time, and then we went to 10 million hits.
Oh, my word.
And that's the explosion of our company. That's how it started. And and it's a very socially conscious aware. It gets
precisely
the most up-to-date management of HIV. It's been a really successful series. Cut to 8 seasons, 70 million views globally, 160,000 subscribers, and it's been a real hit.
Now, I mean, obviously, we're not just talking about technology and distribution here. We're also addressing a very important theme. Now, yesterday we already had a bunch of interviews about proper diversity and representation in media and entertainment. So what you're doing, in a way, very much so even, is a form of social engagement and awareness, and it's about more than safe sex. I'm guessing. I mean, in terms of putting identity on the map and maybe helping with a massive mentality shift that we see beyond the world of entertainment, can you describe what according to you, the potential impact of this kind of programming can have on the LGBT community?
Well, I think at that time, no TV broadcaster was going to touch a series that ours was, right?
Yes.
So there was obviously a dearth in positive role models that LGBTIQ people could associate with. And so with obviously the explosion of YouTube, and then you cut the middleman out, all these sort of misrepresented or underrepresented communities could have a place and a voice. And we found that audience really quickly, and then there's been spring-off shows from Australia. There's we call it our sister show called Starting From Now, who's also kicking ass with getting their audience and again having all social conscious messages all the way through.
Precisely.
So it's been a really good platform and a really interesting access to your audience, because they can find you via social media, right? So we get messages on how to change the storylines. Don't kill this character off. Don't break that character up. Bring back that one. It was quite an amazing journey, and one that I'm very proud to say that we've done really well.
Of course. No, you're absolutely right. It seems to me that the entire YouTube explosion is more of a democratization of the media as well, right? Like you say, we are. What did you say? We're cutting out the middleman. And so basically we're putting people more in charge of not just producing content, but rewarding it as well, right? It's a very kind of straightforward feedback system. So have you heard of any incidents of basically people being inspired by your show, Horizon, to do similar things on the web?
We've had a lot of fan engagement. There was our lead character actually had a T-shirt. A T-shirt made of him saying "I love Paul Layton." That was very amusing.
Awesome.
Our lead character Wilma Bumhurt. That's
wow!
It's our drag queen.
What's in a name?
That's it, right? She had a spin-off show. She's been doing interviews, so she's had her own little trajectory that sprung off from the series. But it's also, yes, it has inspired other people, I think, globally too. And the way we did it, I think people thought easy is not the right word, but the 5D camera also came out at that time, so production expenses sort of went down, but the value still sort of stayed high,
Yes.
And we just happened to be at the crossroads of preparation, because we've worked our butts off to get to this point, and also opportunity, which was YouTube.
I can imagine.
And the 5D.
Now, and can you give any examples, or do you think the at least the local Australian television landscape, linear television, has at least been, I don't know, influenced by what you're doing? Are they paying close attention to you? Are they? Do you think that you've had any sort of impact in terms of more inclusion, more diversity in content, or do you think that you had an impact on the television landscape?
In a sense. Because you obviously get the YouTube analytics, and it breaks down each country. It breaks down how many people watch it in these places. Australia, funnily enough, wasn't our biggest, wasn't in the top sort of 5 of viewers. America was at the top in 20%, and then wait for this one, Saudi Arabia. 18% of our viewership.
Oh my goodness!
Which is both beautiful and also a little bit tragic, I think.
Yes, because, I mean, what's the story? Well, I think we both know what the story there is. It's, of course, a completely repressed society where, I mean, homosexuality isn't even, it's not even, how can I put this, recognized to exist.
Well, no, they'll kill you if they think you're gay.
Absolutely.
Which is really sad. But we had a lot of people reach out from there, so there's obviously a lot of pink sheiks in that town. So it's both a really good insight into what's accepted in certain cultures and countries, and what's not. But obviously there is gay people everywhere. They're not going away.
Precisely, and what you're doing there is you're flying kind of under the radar, and so your global reach is tremendous. I really didn't see the I didn't see the Saudi Arabia coming there, but in a way it makes complete sense. You are reaching audience that before were completely unreachable.
Yeah, no, exactly. And the series is pretty sassy. Obviously, it's a safe sex campaign via the ACON's modus operandum, and basically, to get to the point where the condoms have got to go on, you need to have the whole sex thing happening.
Precisely.
So there's a bit of sassiness and titillation, and no, we're proud of it. We're really proud of it.
Well, as you should, as you completely should.
And the whole team behind it's been a joy to work with.
All right. Well, let's ask you a broader question here, because again, yesterday we were talking about diversity and all its facets in contemporary media and entertainment production. Do you think we're headed in the right direction? Do you see that there's a global shift, or at least larger shifts in terms of actual meaningful inclusion, or is it still kind of a sort of, I don't know...
tokenistic?
Yeah, pretty much.
There definitely is...
Where do you think we're going?
I think there's definitely a paradigm shift that's happening for the better. in Australia, I
Yeah.
know that there's a lot of effort and a lot of initiatives via the screen agencies, both Screen Australia, Create New South Wales, where I'm from.
Yes.
AFTR's the film school, Screen Producers Australia. They're opening the doors to give opportunity to missed or underrepresented minorities or communities
Yes.
that never had that sort of
Absolutely.
opportunity, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not just about on the screen either. So it's easy to say we don't want to whitewash a cast, but you also need authenticity through the writing and the heads of department and the
Precisely.
and all that sort of thing. So I think
Precisely.
Australia, from my point of view, I feel really comfortable with where it's at. And they're going all out, to bring equality across what we do, which is lovely, and that's the way it should be. Like, I don't know why there's any pushback on it.
Oh, well, backlash, unfortunately, is part of the game. It's something that we see on broader subjects as well. But I think it's, probably a good sign. Now, let me see. Are there any particular projects that you're working on today that we should probably put in the spotlight? 'Cause we're-
Yes, I'm here pimping our probably the most major, highest end, biggest
Tell us.
deal that we're about to sign. So the series is
Oh,
called
my goodness.
Who's Seen Jessica Bloom?
Where are we going to find that?
Well, we're working with Wild Bunch at the moment.
Yeah.
They're taking over international sales and pre-sales. Can't go into the story too much
Okay.
because if I tell you the
No
log
spoilers.
line, it'll give it away. But
Okay.
it's
All right.
it'd be the most highest end show that I believe's come out of Australia.
Fantastic. Brian, you've been amazing. Thank you for talking really straight with me, pun intended. And I'm glad to see that we've come a long way since Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
We love Stephen Elliott.
Of course.
See you,
Thanks. Thank you for being on the show. Thanks very much.
mate. Peace, love, harmony.
You too, man.